Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. Sometime in 2020, where Senator Ndume was arrested simply because he was a shorty to Mayana that jumped bail, and a whole lot of controversy trailed that scenario, and a lot of Nigerians were wondering that what is good for Mayana is definitely good for Nnamdi Kanu. What is good for Senator Ndume is definitely what is good for Senator Abaribe. Well, finally, Senator Abaribe have decided to speak on that matter. He spoke concerning the Nigerian constitution surrounding it and his stand over the issue, and so spoke at length, giving Nigerians the standpoint and what may likely be his fate over this issue. But before we go into the news report to find out what it is that Senator Abaribe is telling Nigerians and the law in general, I would like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you will see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Well, Senator Nigh Abaribe, representing Abia South District, says he is not liable if the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB Nnamdi Kanu, does not show up in court on October 17 for continuation of his trial for alleged treasonable offences. These are his reasons. Well, Mr. Abaribe was one of the three sureties in the bail for Mr. Kanu in the case. The other sureties are a Jewish priest, Emmanuel Shalom, and an accountant and Abuja resident, Tochukwu Uchendu. The IPOB, that's Indigenous People of Biafra leader, who is currently facing trial for alleged treason, was last seen on September 14 when a clash occurred between members of his group, that's Indigenous People of Biafra, and the Nigerian soldiers on an army exercise in Abia State. Well, Mr. Kanu was granted bail in April on health grounds with 12 main conditions, most of which the Nigerian government has accused him of flouting. The trial is scheduled to continue on October 17. Mr. Baribe, during an interview, alleged that the IPOB leader's disappearance followed the invasion of his home in Abia State by troops of the Nigerian army. The senator said the army breached the deal that's the shorties had with the federal government by invading Mr. Kanu's home before the court date, adding that no one could say whether Mr. Kanu is dead or alive after the invasion. He was supposed to appear in court on October 17. It was our job as shorties to produce him in court. We have been speaking with him. I spoke with him around August 23rd. I had to invite him to a meeting with the Southeast Senate caucus in my home at Obingwa in Abia. We discussed and we told him what we felt and where he was going out of bond. And we told him to confine himself to the laws of the land. Now, I spoke to him on September 14, and it was the same thing that the military moved into his place. I take that again. Now, I spoke to him on September 14, and it was the same day that the military moved into his place, Mr. Baribe said. Now, with due respect, in all sense of sincerity, Senator Nigh Abaribe had just said that simply because, in summary, simply because that he would have been bound to the shorty he made on behalf of or in favor of Nnamdi Kanu, but he is now no more bound to that shorty. He's free simply because the very day that they had discussion with Nnamdi Kanu, that the army invaded his home, and no one could even tell from that invasion for almost a year. Nobody could tell if Nnamdi Kanu was dead or alive. So on that basics, the shorty stands null and void. So it's not the same, technically speaking, with what Senator Nigh Abaribe says. It's technically not the same with what happened to Mayana or what happened to Senator Ndume. Senator Ndume's case, he said he was sick and he went to wall. Nobody could identify where he went to. Even his shorty, the man who shorted him, that Senator Ndume, could not tell his whereabouts. Today he's around, tomorrow he's not around, tomorrow he will not pick Senator Ali Ndume's calls and all that. Eventually, when he was brought down, Senator Ali Ndume himself renounced himself, used with every power in himself, and said he's no more standing as shorty. Same with even the lawyer that was holding brief for for Mayana. But now he's not saying that there's a difference. In his own case, there was no problem. He was willing to stand through all through the time. But the challenge was, even on the said day they had a meeting, that the army invaded the young man's house, and there was really a serious clash. A lot of Nigerians didn't even know if Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was dead or alive as at then. Or for a year, a lot of persons were wondering, is he dead? Is he alive? And now the case continues. They say on that basis, he shouldn't be held liable. Not him, not the two other shorties that did alongside him. But on a quicker note, let's quickly feel what Nigerians are saying concerning this, because of course Nigerians would talk about this. This one here is saying, the moment we get Interpol to arrest him, we shall hand him over to oh, are you serious? Which Interpol? Are you going to use international? Look at they want to use Interpol. Okay, oh, this one said don't mind them. By the time Nnamdi Kanu finish with them, that's what they want they will see. So they should check the history books. This one here said tell him to come and finish Nigerians, not only Fulanis. He should come and finish the all right, but generally there seems to be so much so much interactions and they're quite coming against one another. But that's looking at what Senator Abaribe is saying. Invariably he's saying, if you want to get Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, go get him yourself or plead with him to come. But if it's on the grounds of the shorty or my property, no one lay a finger on it. And I noticed around, during that Mayana's case, he just refused to say anything. Okay, and nobody's actually calling him forth. And well, 17th looks far away, but then let's see how it plays out. But one thing is certain, I don't see Mazen Nnamdi Kanu coming. When he eventually made mention that he was going to come down, he made mention that he was going to come down on one condition, that the judge who is in charge of the case should guarantee his safety, that there's nothing to be scared of. He's more than willing to come back. But I could also say, remember, the judge said the only way we can guarantee your safety is for you to hand yourself over and stay in prison. That way we are sure that you are safe there. Then from prison you'll be coming out. A lot of things played at that period. But let's see how it plays out. As it is now, the court case is still quite far away, and let's see how it plays. Let's meet in our comment section. What's your take on this ground? I do not know much about the constitutions when it comes to the issue of military invasion against someone who has been shorted, but then that's a amiable senator. I'm sure he has the laws at his fingertips, so he knows what he's saying. But let's see how it plays out eventually. Let's meet in our comment section. What's your take? Do you think there'll be a twist and turns on this? Don't forget that even the same lawyers have brought out this issue of military invasion. They say it was not an issue. They try playing it out, but these are the critical